Boom! We are live, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to the Nolan Hawkeye Anthony YouTube channel. And I thank all of you for being here, wherever you may be. And of course, however you may be listening. Well, the Iowa Hawkeye men's basketball team played Duke in the Jimmy V Foundation Classic. And they, of course, lost. So I will be diving into that very quickly. Of course, be sure to subscribe. It takes 1.25 seconds and dramatically helps your boy. If you guys want to support the channel, you guys can give a small donation by just hitting the little money sign on this video. Like, comment, share. You know the drill. And without further ado, let's get into this. So here we go, guys. Iowa lost 74-62, and the game was pretty close for a majority of the game. I would say that Duke was the better team. They were in control of most of the game. And that's kind of where it begins and where it ends. Duke played the game that they wanted to play. They played a very controlled, relaxed game that allowed them to play in the half court and take advantage of their size. The reality is, folks, when you play a team like Duke that has multiple NBA guys, whether it's this year, next year, the bottom line is they have multiple guys on their roster that are NBA caliber. You need a couple things to happen. Number one, you need your top guy to score at least 20 points, aka Chris Murray. And he did not do that. Duke did a good job of stopping him. But Chris Murray, on the flip side, was not as aggressive as I would want him to be. I will also say that Iowa, and they talked about this with Luka Garza, they talked about this with Keegan Murray, within their offense, because their offense is so free flowing, they don't really run plays for any specific player to get him going. I mean, they do it every now and again, but a majority of the time they allow their best player to play within the confines of the offense because it's very free flowing. Bottom line is you need your top guy to score 20 points and you need him to dominate if you have any chance in beating a team like Duke. The second thing that you need to do when you're playing against a team as long, as athletic, as talented as Duke is you need to make your bunnies. In other words, you can't miss a lot of the easy baskets Iowa was missing. And you need to be able to get out and transition, get steals, and change the game that way, alter the game that way, and put Duke on their heels, or a team like Duke on their heels, for at least a portion of the game, which Iowa really didn't do. Like I said, the game was very half court, very controlled, very relaxed. And that was the story of the game. Both halves were 31-37. So Iowa lost both halves by 6 points. Not bad, not terrible. The bottom line with this Iowa team, I liked what I saw from Patrick McCaffrey. I think he stepped up to the challenge. I do think Chris Murray has a little bit of growth that he needs to begin. He is not his brother, and everybody has been saying that. But he can score like his brother if he wants to. He has that skill set, but he also has some other tangible things like his ability to pass and things like that he needs to, and rebound, that he needs to incorporate more into his game, especially when a team like Duke tries to take him out of the game. You need to find other ways of getting involved in the game other than just scoring when your scoring's not there, so that you can get your scoring on track. I thought Filip Rebraca played a solid game, especially going against the behemoths that he went against. Tony Perkins didn't have a particularly great game, him or Aaron Ulis. I think the length of Duke bothered them. Dasonte Bowen had a pretty good game. He had 12 points in 16 minutes. The bottom line is, folks, I said this in the game, in the season preview. The two things that Iowa was going to have to figure out, well, three. Number one, they were going to have to find a way to replace the three-point shooting that Keegan Murray and especially Jordan Bohannon provided to last year's team. Thus far, they have not been able to do that. And I said that one of the ways that they could do that is by bringing true freshman Josh Dix along and getting him good to go for the season. But I said, of course, that may not happen because, he was coming off an injury and he just may not be totally ready to go yet. Now, he's actually further along than I expected, but still, he is one of your best three-point shooters. You got to get him coming along so you have some three-point making ability. Because if you look at the starting five that Iowa has, really the only three-point shooter you have is Kris Murray and Patrick McCaffery. And both of them are fairly streaky three-point shooters. They're not pure three-point shooters. Number two, the rebounding. Iowa was going to have to figure out the rebounding. And number three, the defense. I think the defense has actually been pretty good this year. Comparatively to other years at the beginning of the season. We've seen other years where Iowa is terrible defensively at the beginning of the season, and they improve as the season goes on. Iowa shot 9 of 15 from the free throw line. Can't do that. You got to make your free throws. Total rebounds, they lost by 10 rebounds. You're not going to beat a team like Duke if you get out rebounded by 10 rebounds. You're just not. You are just not. They only turned the ball over 7 times compared to Duke's 9. Last but not least, there were some people I saw who were saying that Kris Murray was getting fouled left and right. Listen, guys, this is a massive game between two high-quality teams, Duke and Iowa. The refs are not going to overwhelmingly get involved in this game. They are going to let the guys play and make them play through contact. I know, because I would do the same thing as a ref. I would make them play through contact. I would not decide the game. Either you call it tight at the beginning and loosen up towards the end, or you're loose all the way through and maybe tied it up towards the end if things are close. I really would like to see Josh Ogundele and Josh Dix come along. Those two are paramount to this team in coming along. Josh Dix for his three-point shooting and Josh Ogundele for his size that he brings to this team. Those two are paramount. Peyton Sandfort, unfortunately, is not shooting the ball as well as a lot of people were hoping. And, he's also an aspect that if he improves his three-point shooting, things could improve. He's gone from a starter to being about the third option off the bench because a large part of his game is three-point shooting. And if you're not knocking it down, now I'm not saying he played a terrible game. He made some nice passes yesterday and, he worked hard on the defensive end, but Iowa needs him to be a three-point shooter and he's got to be a three-point shooter. So hopefully that comes along. Either way, guys, I think Iowa played a decent game against a top 10 quality team in Duke. I know they're ranked 15th, but they're a top 10 team. There was a lot to like about last night. But there are definitely things that Iowa, and this is why you play a game like this, so that you figure out where your weaknesses are and you work on those weaknesses, because the only time that those things are going to be exposed is by playing a team like Duke. All right, guys, let me know what you guys think in the comment section. How do you think Iowa did against Duke? Do you think Iowa is still a top 25 caliber team? What do you think they need to work on? So on and so forth. Be sure to like, comment, and of course, subscribe. It takes 1.25 seconds. If you guys want to donate, you absolutely can. And last but not least, DBAP, don't be a pussy willow. The facts are feelings because your feelings just don't matter. See you guys next time. Bye. Go Hawks.